Howdy, hey, hi. So, I'm reacting to Genesis chapter 6 here in the NIV version on BibleStudyTools.com. I'm not sure I've said that in every video, but that is where I'm reading it from consistently. I just decided that would be where I would continue to read the Bible from. So, here in Genesis 6, we see the wickedness in the world. And it says, when humans began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw. So suddenly now we've introduced new people into this mix where we have the sons of God. Now, we knew we had humans, right, because of Adam and Eve and so on. But now we have the sons of God. And so we have to infer what these sons of God are. And we automatically have a focus on daughters being born to them. Like, daughters are something new. And the focus in that the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. So, again, we have to infer who the sons of God are and who these daughters of the humans are. And where do we get that idea of how to differentiate them? There is no clue here. There really isn't. So it's so free to interpretation. Anybody can say, well, this, of course, it's plain to see. The sons of God are angels in heaven with God, and God made them before he made us, but there's no mention of it previously in Genesis. These are new beings completely being introduced. There were no other beings before God and Adam. There were creatures of the earth, there were animals, and there was an us once, but that us is not discussed either. So we have an intermingling of the sons of God and the daughters of the humans. And the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. And what? There is no way to make sense of this in the context of anything that came before either. My spirit will not contend with humans forever. So I'm going to outlive humans. The Lord said this, not his sons. He said it. So the Lord who made everything said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. He made them mortal. And he's deciding that their years will be 120 years. That is completely arbitrary and has nothing to do. And then the Nephilim were on earth in those days. Who are the Nephilim? Now we can say, oh, well, duh. Can't you tell that it's the angels are the sons of God, and then the Nephilim are the offspring of the angels and the humans? But nowhere in this does it tell us to infer those things. Now we can research those things separately, but if I am solely going to this Bible or any Bible similar to this for information, for truth, I have no basis currently today of understanding the difference between the sons of God and the Nephilim and the daughters of humans. What about the sons of humans and the daughters of God? I don't know. We can research those things separately as a different thing. But like I said, if we were going to this for our information, we would be susceptible to somebody else's interpretation of those things. We rely on an intermediary between us and the meaning of the scripture, and that is ridiculous. There should never be anyone in between you and your relationship with your higher power, if you have one. I personally don't, but hey, if you do, don't let somebody shouldn't be in that gap between you and them. Anyway, that's another tangent. So the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and so afterwards, when the sons of God went to the daughters of human and had children by them. So now we have that, right? That the Nephilim were on earth and also afterwards, when the sons of God, that's where are the Nephilim different? And also afterward, when the sons of God went, this is where I'm saying, well, of course we can say that they are them, but what if they're not them? It leaves you so susceptible. The Nephilim were on earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of human and had children by them. So the Nephilim are the children of them, maybe. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Who is they? The Nephilim, the children? The Nephilim, the children? And the Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become. So another introduction here. So now we automatically associate the children of God's children. So if we are to infer that angels, the sons of God are angels who came down, and are the angels the Nephilim or are the children the Nephilim? Again, open to interpretation. We don't know. Are the Nephilim something completely different? So the sons of God came down and interbred with the other of God's creations and made great wickedness. So that's on the Lord, all capitals. That's his fault. Take responsibility. But then he says, every inclination of the thought of the human heart was only evil all the time. See, to me this feels like different writers and just different people weaving stuff together, and different translations even. With different agendas and trying to nicen things up and change things to certain things. And the Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So God, Lord has a heart, and it was troubled. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals and the birds and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them. Now, how mercurial is that? If you make something and you have control over its outcome because you're omniscient and omnipotent, not like a human parent, way more far-seeing and understanding and full of wisdom and this omnipotence and this omniscience and all-powerful. So you are fully aware of every outcome. And you still say, okay, I'm going to do that. And then you get mad at them for how they come out. That is a flaw in you, my dude. That is a problem in you. Because even I can see that as a parent. I know you can't control every outcome with your children. You just can't. But if I had if I was all knowing and all powerful, I would do everything I could for not just my children, but for everybody, because that's what's right and what's good. I'm tangential, but so the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race that I have created. But he didn't include the Nephilim in there. He didn't include the sons of God in there. Just the human race. And the animals and the birds. But Noah, now what does Noah have to do with the Nephilim? That's another thing these things just don't tie together. The sons of God and the human daughters have children that are the Nephilim, and then God is going to kill everything. But Noah, ta-da! He just pops up on the scene, and he gets blameless among people. So he's another Jesus figure, where he's completely free of any sin, blameless. And he has 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt in God's sight and full of violence. In what way? like, I don't know. I wish there was more description there of the time frame of what exactly this is talking about. What exact historical communities are they trying to say are like this, and not just figurative but actual. Like, what does this pertain to? So God said to Noah, "I'm going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood." And then Noah gets this fully detailed account of how these specifications and these things are going to save them and these animals from the flood, and how he's supposed to be this pure representation of a brand new start from an apocalypse. Now, I can look at this very objectively and see how this is a, what's the word I want to use? This is a moral of the story type of thing that they're putting very, 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 very specific things into to try to bring credibility to. But what it boils down to is, the rainbow after the storm, and how things are going to get really, 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 really bad, and societies are going to end, and shit's going to happen. But out of that, someone will survive. Things will survive. What principles do you want to survive from that? I can see that as a story, but as something that is literal, 100% literal, that there was a global flood, I don't believe that. And it's not just that I don't believe it, it's that there's no credible proof of that. And I was a born atheist. I really was. I wanted everything proved to me. When I remember sitting in meeting as a Jehovah's Witness, and in the back of the Awakes, they would always have these interesting tidbits and science and stuff about animals and cool stuff like that. And then they would also try to pull facts in from science. I remember there was a time we were studying Sodom and Gomorrah, not really studying it, but there was, it was the subject of the talk that day or whatever. And my mom mentioned that there was burnt silica at the site, and it proved the high temperatures that would back up Sodom and Gomorrah. And I remember seeing something on TV, like on Discovery Channel, that corroborated that. And I would need to go and research that too to find out. I don't remember there being any city ruins associated with it, but I remember thinking, well, that's super cool, but that isn't proof of God. That's just proof of an event. Even at a young age, I remember thinking that's not proof of Sodom or Gomorrah or anything in the story. That's just proof that something happened somewhere, sometime. Okay, great. But what does that have to do with these principles? And I remember, like seeing the things about Noah's Ark being found on top of a Mount Ararat, but it's over here, Noah's over there, and nobody agrees on where it is or what it is or the size of it. And the claims of finding it are never completely satisfactory or accurate, and it feels like the goalpost just keeps moving. Or the things that we do learn are not integrated into the knowledge and just accepted and moved on.